For me, I guess leadership is you've got to have trust. You've got to have trust in your people. They'll do the right thing. They understand the values of the business and the people around them. And
what are good values for a business to have?
For me, I think it's one of the basics is pride. Just have pride in what you do. I find like so many people in the new generations just don't have it. It's just like it's a task to them, and you're like, you really sending that out like that? And like, put some effort into it, put some pride, put your name on it, and just the basics. And once you kind of get that culture right, and everyone understands the values, they get that the business has to make money, but then, you do need managers. I do think that's important. You can't not have management because at some times you do need to be the police and pull things into check. People do need to be accountable. But you've got to move on, as a leader, go, right, we take it on the chin, what are we learning? How are we going to do this better as a business? It's not about throwing someone under the bus. And just other values like teamwork. Like, it's just, again, some people just like to work in that isolation little bubble and you're like, it doesn't matter, right? If you're there, we're all there. Has to be. Otherwise, shit doesn't move. It doesn't move in the right direction, it moves in the wrong direction. And then people leave. And then you can't get that back. You can't get that reputational back.
Yeah, and you're right. Leadership is all about creating we and us, not about me. It's about us.
It is.
Everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Eventually, last year, I started studying a master's in business psychology.
Okay.
And just to understand how we operate.
Yeah.
And I remember the day that I walked into the office because I decided I was going to use my tech company as a lab. Like, I'm learning all this stuff about leadership. I'm going to use it, right? So I started using it as a lab, and I remember walking into the office the one day and just saying, I'm so sorry everyone, I thought that I was a leader, but I was actually a manager, and I didn't understand the impact of what I was doing. And it was such a huge, big, eye-opening moment for me, and I've just realized how much I could have done differently. So we were cloud hosting for this particular organization. Now we've got an application, so the website and mobility, and then we've got the database in the back end. We were backing up their database every 15 minutes. All good. Did that for all our clients. And then the one Sunday morning, out of the blue, I get a phone call. Someone was busy working on the system and it just went down. And I called our product development manager and he got in touch with the cloud hosting company, and they decided to rebuild the server without telling anybody.
Oh.
So everything was lost. But it's okay, we've got a backup, so that's all good, right? And we went to the backup, and the backup, no, okay. It was on another server, so it's all good. But there's a problem. The one thing we hadn't thought of is that all of the media, all of the videos, photos, those sorts of things, PDF documents and things, all the user manuals, insurance documentation and everything, gets stored in the website, not inside the database.
Oh no.
And the website was now gone. First time this has ever happened. And I had to phone them.
Shit moment.
It's a huge moment. We had public liability and public indemnity insurance and all that sort of thing to the value of $20 million. I called the client and I said to them, I'm sorry, this has happened. And of course they were upset. I mean, like, it was a huge amount of data that they lost. They were the ones that were impacted the most by this. And I just said, look, let's fix this together. I understand what's happened. I will pay whatever it takes for you to capture all that information. I'm in this with you. We're in this together. I'm going to solve this with you. I need your input as to what you require from us, and we'll make this work together. And of course, the initial thing was like, how much money are we going to sue this company for? Was their kind of first response. But after, speaking to them and realizing how much of an honest mistake it was, and the thing was, we created such a huge reputation based on trust and usness, where they felt like they were part of the organization, like they were contributing to every single step we took. They felt like they were part of the organization, and we made them feel that way. That's what leadership was all about.
We had a oh shit moment not long ago where a domain controller, we changed IT providers, and the domain renewal was going to the older one. No one picked it up. What was our $75 invoice? domain closed, our whole business shut down.
Wow.
Because your emails work off the domain, your website, our software, everything. It was an oh shit moment for an hour in an emergency to get people to renew that invoice to get it back up. But wow, you just gotta go.
So what happened?
Oh, well, we had clients, and because we knew about it so early, because we got over East clients, so they were calling, going, "We can't get into your software." And we're like, "What?" Like 5 in the morning. So we're like quickly going, "Oh shit, we can't get into any of them. Like, what's going on? I can't even send emails." So and then trying to wake people up at 5 o'clock in the morning here, and eventually it's like domain controller's down. Oh no! So then we had to ring the old IT firm. Thankfully, they had a 24-hour support. And then they booted it back up, renewed it and then paid for it. But $75 almost crippled my business.
Wow.
And what we learned from that exercise was, it is what it is. Like, there's no point getting angry about it because it could have been so much worse, thankfully. And when we had to say to clients, you're trying to work out, well, what do I say to a client? The $75 invoice will almost bring our business down. Or do I make up something that was actually worse, but not true? To the point where you just say to them, our domain went down because we didn't pay the invoice. It went to a wrong email. And they're like, and it's funny because a lot of IT people that understand what a domain controller is, it's like, I'm glad we don't make that only stupid mistakes. We've done that before. So, and then I'm like, nah.
I can see how easy it would be to make that mistake.
You just forget that just one Definitiv.com.au controls our whole business.
Yeah.